This is a book summary of Quiet Leadership, Winning Hearts, Minds, and Matches by Carlo Ancelotti. The main takeaway for this book is there are few executive positions in the world that are more transparent and difficult to maintain than that of a European soccer coach. Carlo Ancelotti is one of the leading managers in world soccer who discusses his own attempts at quiet leadership with high-performing business leaders, professional sports executive Mike Forde, and business professor Chris Smart. The two business leaders take Ancelotti's approach to leadership and relate it to their own experiences in the business sector. What you will learn. Maximize your time in a leadership role by remaining in a role beyond your leadership arc. The length of tenure of an executive has been so reduced, the need for loyalty from the future should be disregarded in favor of present-day productivity. Always manage up to keep those in charge of a company happy. Always adopt to make sure your style does not become outdated. Treat employees with respect and dignity to get the most out of them. The book summary. The story of Carlo Ancelotti is an impressive one that takes us from his idyllic childhood in rural Italy to the career as the so-called diva whisperer of European soccer. The world of soccer is changing, with the biggest clubs in the world now seen as global brands needing to keep themselves and their shareholders happy at all times. Ancelotti is known for his quiet and caring approach to management that is showcased in his book that relates his style to business leadership. The book points out the lifespan of a business executive is far longer than that of the average soccer coach, with the latter lasting around 2 years and the former around 8 in a role. However, the leadership arc discussed by Ancelotti is just as important to a business leader as it is to a soccer coach, because many similarities can be found in the two. One of the biggest lessons to take away from reading Quiet Leadership is that Ancelotti is a man aware his role at the club may be limited to just a few short years in charge. For Ancelotti, the red flags that begin to be raised when a job is drawing to an end should be noted by every business leader and applied to their own business lives. In the modern business world, Ancelotti explains the fast movement of each global brand, and the turnover of leaders is something that needs to be monitored and embraced. The former AC Milan, Bayern Munich, and Chelsea coach explains he enters every new management role knowing he will one day be replaced, so he tries to push his staff to achieve the best results for the present. Another amazing book on leadership by another successful manager and soccer coach is Leading. Ancelotti does not differentiate between leadership and management because he feels his role is to lead his staff and coaches and players to succeed in a way that will reflect well on the entire business. For Ancelotti, the role he has undertaken across Europe set him apart as a manager who is willing to listen to his staff to get the best out of them at all times. Another highly recommended book on management here is High Output Management. The Italian born just outside of the Parma region does not believe in an autocratic style that will become tough for his players to get along with after a short time. Instead, he creates a nurturing environment that allows him to become a popular figure among his players who must still perform well or face being removed from the team. For more perspective on management styles, consider reading the book Flex. One of the biggest issues identified by Carlo and his co-authors is the fact that he is determined to identify the roles of each member of the club effectively. One of the most important divisions in the view of the coach is that of talking to his staff in the correct way, along with those who are coming into the environment on a regular basis. A philosophy shared by founder of Home Depot, Ken Langone, and discussed in his book, I Love Capitalism. Ancelotti recounts his experiences working with agents and details how he respected some and not others because of their approach to their role and how they were willing to talk to him over the course of a season. During his time at Paris Saint-Germain, Ancelotti explains the mother of midfielder Adrien Rabiot asked to talk to him as both the agent and parent of the player. As the season was already underway, Ancelotti explained he was unwilling to discuss matters with an agent, but he would talk to her as a parent concerned about the future of her son. More unique management and negotiation styles and tactics can be found in the wonderful book Never Split the Difference. Despite his many successes, the Italian has become an expert in handling the many failures that are destined to come his way in elite sports. As business leaders, we can learn a lot from his approach to handling failure and his departures from many different roles. For Ancelotti, the most important relationship to manage effectively is that of himself and the owner or president of a team who he must keep happy to remain in his job. Along with this, Ancelotti refuses to spend his time looking for a scapegoat or guilty person when things go wrong. Instead, he focuses on trying to use the relationships he has built to change paths. The book is extremely effective in pushing forward the idea of leading in a quiet and controlled way. During his career, the Italian has taken a controlled approach to his management duties, with the business sector capable of learning much about his work as a leader from the book. Comparable perspectives can be found in the book Make Your Mark. Ancelotti sees his work as focusing largely on decision-making, a part of his job that he takes seriously, and as a collaborative effort. During negotiations, Ancelotti works within the confines of the borders set by the owner and president of the club to build a brand that reflects their ideas and philosophy. This can be taken to the business sector, where executives are working for shareholders or a board of directors and must keep the image of the brand at the corner of the decisions being made. The book Messy Middle talks about how Jeff Bezos does this so well at Amazon. If you're looking for a comparable book to this one, consider reading Principles by Ray Dalio. About the author. Carlo Ancelotti is one of the world's top soccer coaches who spent much of his life and career playing and managing the world's elite teams. During a storied playing career, Ancelotti became a trusted member of the AC Milan team of the 1980s before entering coaching with his mentor, Arrigo Sacchi. It is during his career as a coach and team member that Ancelotti has become one of the world's most effective business leaders. The Italian quickly identified the shifting sands of European soccer and included a move to the top clubs, becoming brands that must include superstar players who must have their egos massaged on a regular basis. Over the course of his coaching career, Carlo Ancelotti has won 3 European Champions League titles and league trophies in Italy, Spain, and England. This has been a book review of Quiet Leadership by Carlo Ancelotti, a wonderful book on business and sports. If that category sounds interesting to you, I highly recommend this book. All the other books that have been recommended that are either pointing out specific points from this book or drilling down on them further can be found in the blog post. Thanks so much for listening to this book review, and we'll see you in the next one.